Hey everybody, this is Larry, aka Blue Man Rule with Open Form Radio, and I'm here because you guys know I'm an RPG player and I love RPGs, and I'm here with Moonrise. So I'm introduce Rich. I'm gonna let Rich tell you who he is and a little bit about Moonrise.
I'm Richard Foge. I'm the design director at Undead Labs, and we're taking a look at Moonrise. Moonrise is a multiplayer creature collection RPG battler for mobile devices, tablets, phones, iOS, Android, Kindle Fire. Coming later this year.
There you go. All right.
And so this is the launch of the game. We're going to reveal a little bit of kind of backstory, what's going on in the world. The Moonrise event, which the game is named after, happens periodically in the world, and when it does occur, it corrupts normally peaceful Solari in the world, turns them into Lunari. Okay.
Which I like. I love the naming conventions, by the way.
Yeah.
Solari and Lunari. It's actually founded scientifically. I like that.
Yeah, we like it a lot too. Your job in the game, you are a warden. In the Warden's Guild, their role, they're sort of public servants. Their main responsibility is to go out into the world, find these Lunari, get rid of the Moonrise effect on them, cleanse them of that effect, and get them back to being normally peaceful and happy creatures that they are. So right out of the gate, you see we have pretty detailed character customization. You could choose your sex, you could choose your face, skin tone, whatever you like. A huge range. Change out your hairstyle, hair color, and clothing and stuff like that. So right now we're going to represent the Seahawks and then get into this. But you have a lot of options. Right now this is just showing a little subset of what we're going to have ultimately in the game. The premise for starting off the game is you're graduating from the Warden's Academy, and so you do kind of a final test, and before you go out into the world. So right out of the gate, this should be familiar to some folks. Water beats fire, beats nature, beats water. So you choose the guy you're going to start with. I always go with fire first.
Any particular reason you go with fire first?
I don't know. It's just a hot-headed personality, I guess. I like to...
At least you understand your weaknesses, right?
I like to burn folks down. So this is the combat tutorial, and not necessarily the best thing for the kind of presentation that we're doing right now, but I'm going to play through it pretty quickly.
So while you're playing through it pretty quickly, what engine is this, man? It looks pretty good, especially being on mobile device.
Yeah, so this is Unity, and we just got an amazing art team, an amazing programming team, and amazing animators, like really pushing it to its limits. So right out of the gate here, since this is a tutorial, it's going to feel a little bit turn-based because the way we're presenting the concepts is a little bit slower paced. So I'm choosing the guy, I'm choosing the skill, and I'm choosing to attack. It's a bit misleading. As you see, when I get a little bit further into the tutorial, it's going to go real time, and the pace is going to get a lot faster.
Okay, so it actually is real-time combat then?
Yeah, real-time combat system. And so right now, a little bit slower pace. People are learning how to play the game. This is what's good against what. Pulling your creatures out into the world. So the next step, here's a little twist that we have. You get to pick a second starter. I'm going to pick the nature guy because I love him and the way he animates.
So you have starters. So explain to me a little bit. So out in the world, like when you actually get into the game, outside of the tutorial, how does it work? Do you have a party built, or do you just have a companion?
You'll have a party that you're able to build up, and part of what you're doing as a warden and cleansing these Lunari and turning them into Solari. Occasionally, when you do that, they're gonna ask to join your team essentially, and so I'll demonstrate that to you guys in a little bit. I'll find some guys that want to join my team, but you see right now, I've got 2 guys available. There's a lot of room down here. You build your team up to 6 guys, and
at a time, or is it just 4 in a party?
So I have 6 guys in my party in addition to myself, and then I can have 2 out on the field at once. It'll make a little bit more sense as we get a little bit deeper into it. And then again, when we get into real time, pulling guys out and putting them back into the field, it gets really interesting and really strategic. Another nice twist that we have on other creature battlers is the warden that you set up, the avatar that represents you in the world, isn't just a passive participant sitting back from combat and watching things happen. You're an active participant in the world. My warden's now going to do an attack against these guys. The other thing is, when you're in warden battles like this, there are 2 victory conditions. I can defeat the other warden's team, which is representing by these keys right here, or I can defeat the warden himself directly. And that makes more sense when you're in bigger matches and you're facing off against a guy that has 6 guys on his team against your 6, having strategies that directly target that guy. But there are a lot of counter strategies to that as well. So now we're in total real time. We took the training wheels off the tutorial. I could pick any one of these guys, queue up skills, get them all doing their thing. So right now I'm just gonna focus fire on this dude and get him down because quick.
Okay, and so there's your timer pretty much. Pretty much each move has a wind up or an animation.
Yeah, there's an amount of time each skill takes to cast, and those can be affected by a number of different factors.
Any cooldown times?
Yeah, cooldown times on the individual skills. I'm just gonna go ahead and put in my name. And that's affected by their speed stat as well. So as you got guys and you're progressing with them, how fast they are will affect how quickly their skills cool down.
Fantastic, man. So looking at the game, the ability for you as a player control character, and then also your people on your team to fight, reminds me a lot of Ni No Kuni. I don't know if you played that on the PS3. Yeah. Ni No Kuni is it's similar to that regard because you have these pets you can throw out that can fight for you, or you can fight for yourself as a mage.
Yeah. So this, I love Ni No Kuni, and it was one of the things that we looked at, and as we were talking about this, we wanted you to be involved in combat as well as your guys. So there's a little bit of that element, and depending on the player's particular play style or their strategy, you can emphasize one or the other. Like your guys your Solari can function mainly as support to buff up your guy, your Warden as you're getting ready to do battle, or vice versa, right? Your Warden can be a support guy focusing on the creatures and how quickly they're able to do damage and things like that. So it is interesting. We wanted it to be, one of the primary goals was flexibility and customization. We want everybody to be able to come into this game and kind of make it their own style, their own strategies will work in different forms of combat. So what you're seeing here is a lot of early quests, which the intent behind the early quests is to teach people how to play the game, how everything works. So right now it's giving me simple stuff like, hey, go in here, do this fight real quick. Hey, go over here, do this fight real quick. We just want players to understand the core flow of the game before we throw them off the deep end and start getting into the hardcore content. After this next battle, I'll hesitate for a second so we can talk about some of the RPG stuff that's happening.
Okay, fantastic. I'm just wondering, since it's mobile and since I guess it always has to be connected to the internet, do you have any type of social aspects to this gameplay at all?
Absolutely. I can. When we get back out into town, hopefully we'll see some other players walking around. I could show you some of what we've got right now, and then we've got a lot of plans to increase the social aspect of the game. So you see, I pulled those guys out at almost the same time, and this guy came up first because he's faster. Fire's going to do more damage against this guy because he's lightning based. We have the affinity matchups like we were talking about at the beginning. And then again, you just got to keep your guys have all their skills going all the time.
That's sweet, man. I really like that. So I'm a fan of more real-time combat like that. Yeah. Really, really cool. So do you have any, say there's like equipment or anything come into play in this?
Absolutely. So let me just talk about the RPG stuff, and then I'll get into the equipment stuff for sure. So these guys just made some progress. He actually hit a milestone. He had a heart there before. Each time they hit a milestone, it'll be a heart or a skill that they're going to learn. The heart is going to give my guys, you see right here, his health is going to increase. If I had learned a new skill, it would have been a skill that I add to his kit, and now he's able to use that skill in addition to the other stuff that he's learned so far. Also got a speed essence there. I'm going to exit this battle because I want to show you some of the equipment stuff that you're talking about.
No, this seems pretty robust, man, for a mobile game.
You know, we set out to make a full-featured RPG. You know, we didn't want to cut any corners. There are things that we did to make it more compatible with mobile, but we didn't shirk any of the big, deep features that you would expect from a RPG. So. I don't have anything to equip my guy with, but you can see here's a shot of the gear screen that we have. Right now I have some basic equipment that my guy started off with. As you go through dungeons, which we'll do in a little bit, I'm able to get different pieces of equipment that affect my stats in different ways, but also have passive abilities like cooldown. They affect your cooldown, so your cooldowns go faster, or boost to specific types of damage. Get guys that are doing more fire damage and things like that. This is also where you change out the skills that your Warden specifically is using in battle. Right now I just have the one relic, and that's giving me that flame ability that I've been using this whole time, but there are a lot of other relics that you're going to be able to equip and obtain over the course of the game.
So you're not locked into a particular relic style then?
No, really, like I was saying earlier, like the customization is a critical part of what we're doing. So as you progress through the game, find the thing that works for your style, and that can be your build. So I'm going to go into do this one more wild Lunari battle out here, and this is going to show how our recruiting works. After you cleanse them of the Lunari effect, there's a chance that they're going to join your team. We set this up in this first part of the game, so this one's pretty much a guaranteed chance.
Now, can you turn them down?
Yeah, you can turn them down.
Really?
Yeah, it's up to them if they want to join you, but then it's up to you if you want them to join you.
Okay.
Right? Ultimately, you get to make the choice. So here's my guy again. I want to pull both these guys out at the same time. And again, you see, whoop, he's first. The fire guy's going to do a bit more damage. Oh.
The animation is pretty fluid too.
Oh man, our animators are killing it on this game. Our entire art staff actually, like these guys, I get to look at the concept art for these guys all day, and they're awesome right as soon as they hit the paper. But after they're modeled and animated, man, it breathes so much life into these characters. So he stuck around after being cleansed, and I can use his key, and that's going to recruit him onto my team. You'll see in the next battle that he's already just integrated into my team. We do that at the beginning because you don't have anybody else to go in there. When you get a little bit further and you've got more than 6 guys, you'll customize the set of dudes that you're going into battle with.
So you can kind of arrange like a predetermined loadout, a custom loadout of a team, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Set up what you want, set up what works with the strategy that you're trying to deploy.
So how long is this game? Because it seems like it's pretty robust. We have to level up quite a bit, but you know, we got introduced to the story a little early on, but it seems like it's going to take a while to resolve, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I can play through the content we have now in about 16 hours. By the time the game actually goes live worldwide, it can be more like 20. And that's if you're kind of going through the story pretty straightforward. There are going to be players who, again, playing just through the story, if they want to do all the side quests and stuff that we have built out, 40-hour games. We're building an RPG, right? RPGs take a long time to beat.
Yep.
But in addition to the story mode that we have, the players are going to be able to sink their teeth into and put a lot of hours into. We have a lot of PvP content that players are going to be able to engage with as well. I'll show you some of that in a little bit. I didn't ask how much time you guys had, so
yeah, okay.
I'm just going to keep going until you guys tell me to shut up.
Okay. So if that's all we had, then that's fine, man. So when can we expect to see Moonrise? And do you guys have any plans for extending the product past release?
Yeah, Moonrise will be coming out a little bit later this year, and we absolutely have plans. Once we've got this initial story arc out and people are playing it, we plan to keep introducing additional story arcs moving on, adding new Solari, adding new skills and game mechanics for them to go in and explore and collect.
Okay, and pricing will be released at a later date?
It's a free-to-play game.
Okay.
So players will be able to get it for free and then check it out on all the mobile devices that it's on.
Sure, man. Well, thanks for your time, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you.